All right, let's talk about link building today. And because links lead to better rankings, and rankings lead to more traffic generally, and traffic generally leads to more money, what you have seen in the past is you've seen, actual industries, spring up, services and things that allow you to do things like buy links and buy guest posts and do some things that are clear violation of Google's terms of service. But it's getting harder and harder to wear that black hat. So we talk about the difference between white hat SEO, which is essentially just following the Google terms of service, producing a better experience for the user, producing better content, producing better products, and ranking naturally. And then black hat, which would be, buying links and worse, and then anything in between. So you get into this idea that there's this gray hat SEO and things like that. But it's getting harder and harder, to wear the black hat. You can see an example here of, a really, really shady looking site here, Shundow, whatever that means, and then Chocolate of the Month Club, and they've got these really clearly spammy links in here, XS Bottle Service Vegas, Party Cabana Wet Republic, very, very clear. If you've ever seen spammy looking link practices, what this looks like. And this is kind of what it looks like. It looks like very low quality looking sites with very clearly optimized anchor text on links. You've got things like, blog networks that have sprung up over the years where, people build these, giant networks of content sites that, have a bunch of junky content on them, and they eventually link them all, cross-link them all in some fancy way all the way back to the money site or whatever. You've got the link farm that's, link cross-linking also. All of these are examples of link schemes that have, worked in the past, may still work today. I don't know. But not a great way to build a sustainable search marketing practice. So today it's almost better not to know the rules. It's almost better not to know how Google works. Not quite better, but I keep coming back to this quote. The objective is not to make your links appear natural. The objective is that your links are natural. All right. So any sort of manipulation that you're doing needs to be really, nice and above the board and not feel spammy at all. So today, links are about quality over quantity. Links from, big authoritative sites like the NewYorkTimes.com, New York Times, or university sites are always great to get links from. So like Florida State's website would be a fantastic link. And the premise here is that, any link coming off of New York Times or from a .edu site like Florida State, the search engines have deemed these as being sites that would never link to something spammy. And remember that, one of Google's main objectives is to remove spam from its index so that it doesn't serve spam to its user, so that the user stays on the site longer and uses Google more, so that Google can then earn more money through ad clicks. So they are purging as much as they can any spam from their index. And anybody that's getting a link from New York Times or Florida State or any of these really, really reputable sites is very, very unlikely to be a spammer. You have relevance over quantity. So you have the Huffington Post versus TechCrunch. So Huffington Post, really, really strong site. TechCrunch, less powerful site, still a pretty strong site. But what site are they linking to here? They're linking to a software startup company called Slack. And Huffington Post, great link. It'd be great to get a link from Huffington Post if you're Slack, but probably even better to get that link from TechCrunch because it's more relevant. TechCrunch is more about software startup space than Huffington Post is. So if I had to choose and I was Slack, I would rather receive this more relevant link from TechCrunch than receive a link from the Huffington Post. But if I could, I'd get them both. Follow over no follow. So when you see earlier, we talked about the Meta Robots tag in Module 4. Links that come off of pages that have the meta content equals no follow tag on them are not going to pass as much, or maybe zero link, what we call link juice to you. And then links that have the no follow tag on them. So this is what that might look like. If you see a link that says href http site.com, that's your site, rel equals no follow, that means they are essentially telling the search engine, don't follow this link. Don't use this link as a don't interpret this link as me vouching for that site. And you'll see this no follow being used on things like social media sites. So this tweet right here has got a link to us from Twitter. That link's going to be no followed. So Twitter is not going to allow us to spam up, their Twitter with links just to get, more links. So what they do is they add that no follow tag, and that reduces the spam big time that's going through Twitter. If Twitter links were follow links, there would be significantly larger amounts of people on their link spamming Twitter. Same with comments. So like by default, WordPress, when you leave comments on a WordPress site, generally they're going to link up your name with whatever website. Those links will be no followed. By default, you can change that if you want, and allow followed links from your comments. But again, in an effort to reduce link spamming, because it became very easy to find, WordPress sites that allowed you to just comment and drop links into those comments. WordPress just by default becomes no follow, and that very much reduces the amount of spam because you're not getting any link juice from those no followed links. So you're looking for followed links, you're looking for relevance, you're looking for quality, and last but certainly still important is the quantity of the links that you have. Now in the next step, we're going to start talking about how to earn links, and we will see you there. Bye-bye.